Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of this Narwhal page from Small Victories. I am colouring on the postcard, but it's the same as the page in the book, so whichever you have, you can colour along if you wish to. Now I'm coming in a bit closer. Now I haven't coloured this little bee at the bottom here, so that is going to be my very first bit. I am going to use the number 35 that we were using for the I just realised I haven't written it down. 35 for the water, so I'm going to just fill this in like that. And I'm also noticing that around this fish it's a little bit light. I'm just going to fill that into. I was going to do this in between videos and I thought I can't do that because you might notice that it looks a bit different. There we go. Right, now I am going to be colouring the horn of the narwhal. I've decided what colour to do it. I thought I would do it really dark. This is the 33, it's our darkest blue, almost as purplish blue. I'm going to sharpen it to a fine point, you'll see why. Okay, so let's hold the page still. Now, I'm going to go along the bottom. See, all the way along the edge of our horn, and then all the way along the top. I'm sort of ignoring those lines across it. I'm just going to do this and try to make it look like it's got a little bit of shine, as if it's slightly metallic, because it's a sort of mystical, it's not a mystical creature, but I think it's fun. There we go. Now we need to do this key. I'm going to make it very simple because it's really small, and use number 16, which is our sort of ochre colour, which is the closest to gold that we sort of have. And I'm just going to do that. Now you could use a gold pen or pencil, a glitter, something like that if you wanted to show up, but I think it'll be okay like that. I think it'll be fine, for me anyway. Now fish. Now I very often colour fish in orange, and I'm thinking, should I do that this time or should I do them in purple? But I think, well, if I do them in purple they will match in with the colours we've got already, apart from the key and you know, but if I do them with orange they'll be very bright and really stand out. So I've decided that I am going to use the purple because I don't want them to stand out more than the narwhal. If they were orange, they would really jump off the page. Okay, so I'm going to use this 6. It's actually called Violet, but yeah. I'm going to use this for the body, and we're going to go slightly lighter on the fins. Now with a fish body, I tend to go darker around the edge like that, and then slowly fade it by doing less layers towards the middle, so that it's a bit lighter here. And it helps the body to look a little bit more three-dimensional. And we'll do the same on all of them. I'm going to make them all the same, even though that one looks slightly different. I think it's a mummy and babies, and I think they're the same colour. Because she's looking at them, you know, looking after them, going, come on, get away from the narwhal. And narwhals, do they eat fish? Are they vegetarian? I have no idea. The only, I was thinking about that mythical creature. You know, I was talking in yesterday's video about how I was told narwhals were mythical. They didn't exist. And I was thinking there are, of course, mythical sea creatures, like sea serpents and things that we see in Greek mythology. And the kraken, this is 62. I'm going to do this for the tail and fins, a little bit lighter. I usually do the tail and fins darker, so I thought it would be different to make them lighter. And but the most interesting mythical sea creature, I think, is the Loch Ness Monster. Have you heard of the Loch Ness Monster? Scottish. Loch Ness, Loch is Scottish for lake, so it's just a monster in the lake type thing. I'm going to grab this 35 again and do, can you see here where I've missed? yes, so I haven't been to Loch Ness ever, but the monster is supposed to be like it's got a body like that, so almost serpent-like body, and sort of thing, some people say. But apparently there are otters in Loch Ness. Let's do some trees. All these trees, I'm just going to come out so we can see the top of the tower. There we go. All these trees look the same. These ones up here. So I'm going to do them all the same. I'm going to use number 5, I think. I was thinking about 38, which we use down here, but I'm going to use 5, so it's a little bit lighter. Do them in this sort of direction, because they're pine trees, they would have needles, so if we do them this way, then if our lines show up, it just looks like needles. Yes, so people feel that the Loch Ness Monster was just otters, because otters do sort of jump out of the water, and that they were all doing it in a row, and because you can see there's photographic evidence, you can see it. And some of them have been proven to be fake photographs, but most of them are so old that they weren't. And it's quite fascinating. And when I was at school, we used to have house debating competitions. Yeah, I went to a grammar school. They had, it wasn't like, I mean, we did do house football and netball and things like that, but yes, house debating. My boys, when they were at school, they didn't go to a grammar school. They had a house Lego competition. How different is that? Anyway, and one of the topics they decided for debate was whether the Loch Ness Monster existed or not. And I loved the one person in her roundup of, you do your debate and then you just summarise at the end. And in her summary she said, and the fact that my 77 for the trunks, my father seen the Loch Ness Monster has no bearing on the fact that all this evidence proves that it exists. And of course she got a roar of laughter, because nobody really believes that it exists. But, well, I know people do, but most people don't. I'm going to grab another brown to do the other tree trunks. So I'm using the 76 for the others. So there's this one, and these. I thought I might as well just do the trees all at the same time. At least the trunks. But I've got to have a little think about the colour of the background here. Like this is mountain, so I might not do that in green. But here, maybe I might not. I don't know. I'm going to grab some green. Whoops. This is 57. And I'm going to do this little scrubby bush here. I'm just going to do a sort of circular movement. I love this colour. This is such fun. I feel like such a child, round and round and round. And you want to make it, if you can see the circular motion, normally we do this sort of scumbling so that we can't see changes in colour, but you want to put a bit of texture in there. So, get it showing. If you can. This one, tempted to do the same colour. No, let's do it in the 56. I know we used it under the water, but I don't think it matters at all. Yes, my little 56. But it deserves to be used. Once it's used, it's used. That's that. But it's okay. Got lots of other pencils. And won't be able to colour forever, so let's use them now while I can and enjoy them, because no one else in my family has an enjoyment for pencil art or colouring, so I might as well just have fun. Right, it sounds a bit depressing. I'm not depressed. I'm not thinking like, I'm young, but let's just enjoy. 52, we never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to try and fade the edge of the leaf, so take it a little bit slowly, build up the layers here. I don't know if you can see, build up the layers here, and then less to the tip. Do that on all of them. Just take your time. I'll probably end up speeding up because I know what I'm like, but just take your time and enjoy it. There we go. I haven't been making many freebies for you lately from my Ko-fi. If there's anything you fancy, do let me know. I'm quite happy to try and put things together for people. It's always nice to help, you know. And some days, when I'm sort of not up for chattering, well, my family would laugh. I'm always up for chattering, but sometimes I'm not up for doing a recording type picture. It sounds weird. Either I just want to do something for myself, or I want to chatter to the family, or on watch telly, or you know, things like that. So while I'm doing those things, I can make also, if I'm not colouring, I can think about making charts for you. The sun has come out, but it's luckily it isn't quite this far along the desk. I think we'll be okay. You know, if there's anything you want, I don't mind doing it. If I can, of course. I was thinking of going through my charts and just making them a little bit tidier and things like that, but I'm not very neat in my, I can't do design very well. I'm not particularly neat in my, or pretty in my layouts. It'd be nice to make them prettier, but unless I was going to sort of put them together in a book and sell them, I don't think, which I think is, I don't want to do that. I don't think it's, you know, I don't think I'm going to do that, because I'd have to get someone to do it for me, because I'm just not, I just don't have the creative imagination for, it's like journaling, you know, people, they put all these amazing different stickers together or draw these layouts and things. I'm like, I would have no idea where to start. I can colour a picture and choose colours, but I can't do that sort of thing. It's just not my area, I suppose. So I know I'm doing all these the same, but they all look the same. So I'm just carrying on and doing them all. No, so it's just not my thing. And I don't find it fun. I think they look beautiful, but, you know, I just couldn't do it. I could copy someone else's, but that's not really interesting. I mean, I don't mind doing that when I'm colouring. I do copy other people's pictures sometimes. I did one the other day. It was a Matchstick Mouse Springtime, and I'm copying some of Morgan O'Brien's pictures because they're so nice, his colours and things, and the way he does it. In fact, someone asked me to do a video to show how I did it. Have a think. It's quite difficult. But well, I have a picture beside me that I copy. I suppose I could put one in shot. Anyway, I'm pondering that on over. Whoops, trying to find my next colour. I am going to use 50 for some of the trees, these trees here. Again, I think I might do a sort of fluffy type thing. These trees look like ice cream, like a Mr. Whippy ice cream. You may or may not know what I mean. Soft ice cream that is pumped out of a this sort of puller handle, like when you're pulling a pint, I say, because everyone knows what that is. They sort of pull a handle and the ice cream comes out, and then they swirl it round into the cone, and it's all soft whip, maybe it's called? No, soft whip something else, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of. Now, I am trying to think about these sort of mountains. What colour? This one might have some grass. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one 50, not 20. here. I don't know what 20 is. 20 is pink. No, we'll not do that. So I'm going to do grass on this one. And then I might do the others like they're just rock. I don't know why. They just look that way to me by the way they've been drawn. I am going over the leaves a little bit so that I get my green all the way up to the edge. I don't think it's going to show up that much. It doesn't matter too much. I'm not bothered anyway. Right, there we go. Now the rock, let's have a go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this light grey, the 80, and go all over the rock with it first, and then we'll get a darker one in there and do some bits and pieces, because it looks to me like this is overlapping this and that sort of thing. So we'll see what happens. And it shouldn't be too tricky. These are fiddly areas, aren't they? But yeah, I'm going fast. Do I speed up as I get towards the end? I think I might do. I think what happens is, when I'm colouring any page, the bit I like the best I do first. And then as I go through, I get to the bits that I like the least and least, usually. And so then I sort of rush through them because I'm not so enthused by them. But sometimes I'll work from the bottom to the top. I sort of did that with this page a little bit. Right. Now the darker colour, the M8. And I'm going to take notice of this. Now what I'm thinking is, these lines here are indicating it's darker here. Can you see? So I'm making a sort of darker line right underneath Johanna's line, and then just fading it down from there like that, and we'll do the same on this one. Even though there aren't lines drawn on it, it'll just match then. There we go. And the same on this line too. So now it's got, this one looks more three-dimensional than this one, as if there's a sort of outcrop. I don't know if that's what Johanna meant when she drew that, but I had fun anyway. This one's the other way. I'm just going over those bits and fading them down. Like that. And I'm thinking that under here we might just have a little bit of shadow. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker at the bottom here. Like that. And then also just put a little line here where they're overlapping. And a little bit down the edge of this hill. There we go. Now we've got our houses left to do. How are we doing for time? Oh nice, we can get this finished. I'd quite like to match these two buildings. I'm not going to use a grey for the roof because we've used so much grey. Oops, that's my ring on the table. So I'm thinking maybe a brown. I don't know if I've ever done a brown roof on a house before. I'm going to try it. 73. It's got this lovely tower. I'm going to take it up each edge like that, and then a bit less towards the middle, and then this little roof here too, and then this roof, maybe lighter on the top slightly, thinking that the light is likely to be coming from the sky, so it'll be a bit paler as we go up there. Okay. It's not a bad roof colour, is it? A bit different. It's nice to try something different. Now our actual house, I am thinking, oops, maybe this 43. Let's do that for the sort of skin of the house. I don't think that's the right word. The body? No, it doesn't sound right either, does it? Oh well. Whatever it is, we're doing it. And this bit too. And then I'll think about whether I need to, I think I need to put some darker colour in some places. I'll do that in a bit. Just get some colour down everywhere. And the chimney. There we go. Now I want a slightly darker shade. Should go with the orange. I think we might have to use this orange. This light orange is 42. And what I'm going to do on the tower is put a little line in there where it might be shady in at the bottom. And in there and under the roof. Oops. I'd quite like a little bit on each side as well, to try and make it look slightly more cylindrical. Although if that is cylindrical, how's that? I suppose that must be as well. Anyway, I'm going to put a little bit into this roof line. A bit on each edge of the chimney. Smaller right. There we go, that's better. A bit there and under that roof. Under the window. Now, I want a little bit of light coming out of the windows as if they've got their light on. So I'm using the number 10 and just colour those all in. It's not window or door, I'm going with window, but we do have this little door to do. Red, but not bright red. We've got a sort of orangey red here. We'll use that. We'll use 24. It's actually called Scarlet Red, but I was thinking it's quite orangey. I think that'll work. I mean, had we done orange fish, it would work, but we've actually got, if we, yeah, I'll come out and show you. If we look, this sort of underwater looks dull compared to the top, and I quite like that. This almost looks like there's water over everything, which there of course would be. Now we're going to do the white pen before we finish. I'm going to find my jelly roll 8, there we go, and do some white markings. I'm going to move from this side to this side so I don't smudge. If you're left-handed, you'll have to go the other way. And I'm just going to put, you know, get the pen to work on the top of the water droplets, and on these I'm just going to follow that curve at the bottom. I don't know how easy it is to see. I hope you can see. It's a little dot on these. These I'm just going to put a little bit on the top to make them look a bit more bubble-like. Sort of think they are. Now I've got little black dots in the water here. It's tempting to go over those with the white pen, but what will happen is the white pen will make them disappear, and I think we won't see anything because the blue sea colour is quite pale. I think it's not going to show up well enough for us to make them look white. So I think it's better to actually leave them black. And a little bit here to make these look shiny. Just a tad here, that now. Oh, that bubble. I'm going to put a little bit on the top of the fish, because often fish scales are shiny, but not on the narwhal. Now let's just push that up. Now you could, do some on the stones as well, but I'm not going to, because there'll be too much then, I think, in my opinion, because we've got it under the water, not above the water. So there we go. So there is my finished little narwhal page. So I hope that was okay. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a super day and happy colouring.